Today's sponsor is Simplify 101. Their online classes make getting organized with a professional organizer affordable, fast, and fun. Check them out at simplify101.com. Hey, welcome back to 31 Days of your Scrapbooking Q&As. And today's question was such a great one that I thought I would bring on an expert to weigh in with her advice. And I've got Aby Garvey from Simplify 101. Aby is a professional organizer, and she teaches classes that are specific to the needs of crafters like you and me. Welcome, Aby.
Welcome. Thank you. It's great to be here, Lain.
Oh, I'm so excited to get your opinion on this question today. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you, and then we'll just have a little conversation, if that's okay.
Sounds great.
Okay. Lisa asks, we are thinking about putting our house on the market. We want to move out to the country. My scrapbook room seems like it is the rat's nest in our house. Any thoughts, comments, or suggestions on how I can keep my scrappy, happy place even while the house is on the market?
All right. Well, that definitely sounds like a challenge, getting the house ready for sale and still being able to scrapbook. So, I think a big part of this depends on what your starting point is. If your room is already, pretty organized, then it's just a matter of employing some strategies to be able to use the space while you're, listing your house and showing your house so that it looks nice for the people that are coming in. And, the other thing too, I was thinking about, if I have my house on the market and, scrapbooking is kind of personal stuff. So having the family photos there. So I think the first thing is if you're starting from a relatively organized place already, then what I would do is just look for ways to make it easy to get stuff out and pick stuff up when you're done. So I have a couple little props here.
Oh, great.
I love trays. You could collect all of your project supplies. Sorry for that big noise. Collect all of your project supplies onto a tray. And then, it's super easy to pick everything up. If you have a layout in process, you can kind of lift it and, stick it right on the tray and then tuck this away on a shelf or in a closet or, someplace that the people aren't going to see. But because it's all still on here, it's easy to, pick up back where you left off the next time that you want to scrapbook. So that's one idea. Another thing too that I like to use, and this works even if you're not, selling your house, and that is to collect supplies into little containers. So little collection of supplies for working on a smash book. So again, because you can tuck everything in, it's easy to pick up and put things away and keep it neat and tidy and, get your house ready to show again in a jiffy. So that's another idea. And then there's other, containers. Like I have this basket here that has, these are, some of my project life supplies. And again, I can just tuck this, it lives in a drawer in a desk upstairs, so not even in my craft room. So again, having containers that you can tuck stuff away in to make it easy to get stuff out so that you can still be creative during this time when your house is up for sale, but also make it easy to tidy up so that you can sell your house so that people are seeing the home and, not all of your scrapbooking supplies.
Definitely.
Now, if you're starting from a place that, your craft room, your creative space is
a big mess. I'll say it.
Want it to be to show your house. Then the first thing that I would suggest is that you do some decluttering. Since you're going to be moving anyway, go through and, just do some quick and easy decluttering. Make some decisions about things that, I'm not using this, I don't love it, it's not my taste anymore. Get any of that bulk out of there. It always makes sense to declutter before you organize. And then the other thing too is, typically when I talk to people about getting organized for scrapbooking, containers are a big decision. And some people prefer clear containers, some people prefer opaque containers. Certainly in the case of selling your home, I would lean towards using opaque containers so that you can tuck everything away. It'll look neat and tidy to the eyes of people who are seeing your home, but you can still have your stuff easily accessible and out. So if you need to kind of tidy it up so it looks a little bit better for selling, I would recommend using some opaque containers like baskets, the buckets, the things I just showed, boxes, anything that's just going to make it so that the space looks a little bit neater and tidier to the eye.
Right. It's almost like looking at it from different priorities, where if we're just using that space for crafting and we're not worried about bringing in an external person to really, they're judging our house. If we only need to do with what works for us. But when we're dealing with other eyes who may or may not be scrapbookers, then we really have to think about what it's going to look like from their point of view. So it adds another layer on there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, and definitely when you're selling a house, the sooner you can sell it, the sooner you can get back settled and do your creating in the way that you want to do it. So absolutely, kind of looking at that space through the eyes of somebody who is interested in the home and not maybe interested in scrapbooking.
Not yet, but we could convince them, right? It's a good opportunity for recruiting them.
That's right.
Those tips I think are great too for people who are using shared space, whether they're sharing an extra room with kids who use it for a study room or using one corner of a multi-purpose basement, where you can still have your stuff but organize it so, again, to the external eye, it looks organized, it looks like a more attractive space, and I really like those. That's great.
Well, behind you, you've got the is it Alex drawers from IKEA?
Yes.
So the thing that I love about drawers is that it's a great way to, you get that visual clean look when the drawer is closed, but you slide that drawer open and everything is really easy to see. So employing drawers is a great strategy for people who are visual and like to be able to see their stuff, because you can just open the drawer and everything's right there in front of you. So again, like you said, good for when you're selling a house and when you're using a shared space.
I love that. So first of all, declutter, because it's harder to organize when we have clutter. 2 is to invest in not in a whole system. It doesn't sound like you're telling us to go to the Container Store and drop $500 on all these. Just some very specific.
Absolutely not. Especially if it's not something that you would want to use in the long term, But if it looks visually cluttered and you're using clear containers, and a lot of times people have stuff around their house too that they can use. Repurposing baskets or canvas bins or something that they have in another area of their house.
I love that. That sounds like something I need to do right now, even though we're not on the market yet. I think it would make my space look a little more clean and more enjoyable for me as well. So great. Yeah. Those are fantastic tips. Thank you so much. What do you have coming up that people might want to, I know you always have new classes and resources over at simplify101.com. What do you have coming up now that you would want to share with people?
Well, we are just getting started on a couple of classes, Organize Your Paper Clutter and The Secrets of Staying Organized, which is a brand new class, and I think it's really, really fun because it's kind of a fresh approach to our online classes. It's a video, kind of lecture-based video type of class, so I think it's really fun. And then coming up in August, we have How to Organize Your Closet, and I have a guest instructor, Janine Adams, who's teaching Simplify Your Life with Habits and Routines.
Ooh, I love it. Those sound terrific, and everybody can just head over to simplify101.com, and I'll also put links on the blog page for that so they can easily click through and see what's going on with you.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
So much, Lain.
Thank you. This was fun. We'll talk again soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.